Ebenezer, a cold, selfish figure, clutching his wealth, stoic and cruel, both ways it goes, so the spirits know. But humbug he claimed, but after tonight he won't be the same. A kind man with a Christmas plan Ebenezer could not stand. It would do no good to plead, for you can't reach a man led by greed. By humbug he claimed, but after tonight he won't be the same. Faces in strange places, dust off that feeling, the warm fire brimming. Padlocks and cash boxes, rattling chains, unsettling what the spirit brings, a warning. The spirits of the past, the present and the future visit this night. With visions, painful and steady, and their lessons are ready. Anxious, he waits, it's getting late. The clock strikes one, the first spirit comes, an innocent face lit up the place, a painful past relived, all the memories it could give. Devastation, loss and regretful. He sees the boy he wouldn't recognize if he met one down, two more to go. As he begs, don't show me no more. The spirits of the past, the present and the future visit this night. With visions, painful and steady, and their lessons are ready. The clock strikes 2, what is he to do? He walks to the room, it's brief and slipping away as he watches the spirit age. In poverty joy will not fade, enriches his name, kind words to say. A humble feast, a grateful child's eyes, a mirror held before his mind. But as he watches, warmth turns into darkness. 2 down and 1 to go, he begs, please don't show me no more. The spirits of the past, the present and the future visit this night. With visions, painful and steady, and their lessons are ready. The clock strikes 3, nowhere to flee. Silent and hooded, a dark figure shrouded. No speaking, only gestures and pointing. 2 deaths, only one worth mourning. In a dark room a body lies where nobody cries. In a warm home the boy's family torn. Thieves haggle and laugh, showing no shame. He knew he had only himself to blame. The silent spirit showed him the grave, upon the headstone his own name. The spirits of the past, the present and the future visit this night. With visions, painful and steady, and their lessons are ready. This is the future, not the past. As he begs for another chance, as pain turns to panic, he pleads, I can change this, don't let it be. I'll celebrate Christmas, just wait and see. The man's heart beat differently, the spirit's grip loosening, as the figure faded silently. As morning fell, he could hear the Christmas bells. He laughed, he cried, his words were not lies. But humbug, he said, never again. as his new life begins. The price he almost paid, keeping promises made. It wasn't his own life that was saved. But humbug, he said, never again, as his new life begins. But humbug, he said, never again. He heeded the warnings, a new path he walks this Christmas morning. This Christmas morning.
Nicht so ein frohes Weihnachtsfest für all die sich schlecht benehmenden Kinder. Bald in meinem Korb, dann in den Sarg.
Christmas time, and all seems fine. You spent the year without fear, misbehaved and mistreated others. He comes for you, brothers and sisters.
Jingle bell time is a swell time for Krampus to spend the night. You'll be hiding filled with fright. Your Krampus is punishing delight.
Chains and jingling the bell. He's come to take you to hell. Too late to repent, your tears are spent. Krampus comes calling. For mercy you'll be longing, beaten with branches and sticks, 'cause you chose to play trick. Joke's on you, you selfish fool. Now, what's left is a dreadful mess.
Jingle bell time is a swell time for Krampus to spend the night. You'll be hiding filled with fright. Your Krampus is punishing delight.
Into the basket you'll go, taken in the snow. Tears you'll cry and pain you'll sow. No one can save you, not that anyone should. I wouldn't even if I could. Should have been better, should I behave? Now you're the one, no one can save.
Gute Nacht an alle, die gedient haben. Seien sie im kommenden Jahr gut gelaunt, oder ich werde dich nicht sehen.
All right, folks. Welcome to Paranormal Roundtable. I'm your host, Josh Turner. This is PRT. Join us in the real reality. Here we are. And don't forget, we're going to be doing Patreon on Thursdays. I believe we're going to be doing, it's going to be a pre-record. We're probably going to do like one Saturday. We'll do like a, what do you call it? A live stream for the Patreon. And then we're going to do a pre-record the next week. And then we're going to have a members only. Did we have a members only this past week? I don't even know.
Not this past week.
Okay. And so then we need to have need to have a members only. Thought we did.
Was it? Oh yeah. You know what we did?
Yeah. So we had a members only last week, and we had a Patreon.
Tony did the editing for that one, so I was like,
we're not going to have that next week. Here's the schedule. I'm going to be out of town on Christmas Eve. So here's what we're going to do. Christmas Day is a Thursday, right? Christmas.
I believe, yeah.
So a lot of people have said, well, they're going to be with their families on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, whatever. But then a lot of people have also said that they're not going to be, or that they're going to be done, by Christmas night, they'll be done and they'll be bored. There's nothing to do. So we're going to go live on Christmas night. So we're probably not going to go live Christmas Eve because I won't be back in time. I won't be back in town. I'll come back late Christmas Eve night. But definitely I want to do one on Christmas night. Tell me what you think in the comment section if you would be down to watch it's going to be a free episode. It's not going to be.
Yeah, you're going to be available to check it out on Christmas night.
Yeah, it's Christmas, so it's a free one from us.
I think that'll be a good idea. Seems fun.
Sonia, I enjoy doing those Krampus episodes too, but I only have two stories that I could say probably Krampus. So, yeah, if you do that, Richard says he's going to get hammered and troll the chat.
We're going to put you in timeout.
You'll be gone. Okay? You will no longer be here, and you won't be here on Mondays either. So I trust that you're not going to do something. I trust your judgment, brother. You're not going to do something so stupid. But yeah, Christmas night we'll be here because we're not doing our Christmas until later in the week. It's going to be in between Christmas and New Year's because that's when we can all get together, the PRT family. We were going to have a Christmas party for our company, but we could not find a time for everybody to get off. And there's about 20 people that work for us. And it would have to be like early in the afternoon, and people have to rush to work afterwards. We're like, we're not going to do it. So instead, we gave everybody bonuses, and we're going to give them part of the food for the food drive. Thank you for asking that, Andres. Good timing. The food drive, we are about, what would you say? We found out last night that we're going to need an extra, all together, I think we're going to need another $800 to get done what we need to get done. That's going to be hard to do.
Yeah, beef is expensive this year.
So we're going to take it out of our savings to cover it. But it would be nice to recoup that in January so that we can pay bills and pay our rent here at the studio and pay our mortgages and things we got to pay because I don't want to be, we have to get a vehicle fixed for one of our employees. And she is a very important person, and her name is Maddie. So that's going to cost us a grip. We got to do that for Maddie, or we could just give her some really crappy tires and let her have a broken windshield and
just put her in a jalopy.
So
I was going to say a tricycle.
Yeah. Thank you for that donation. So whatever you can donate tonight, 100% right now, tonight and through the rest of this week, will go toward the food drive. We will be picking up the food on Friday and Saturday. And something exciting for me, we get to go and do something special for Anthony's dad.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Saturdays. I'm really excited about that. That's awesome. I love to be able to do. The guy was a great guy when I was growing up. He's one of the few people that was really nice to me.
Yeah.
Unlike a lot of people who are just mean and nasty, and a lot of it just as a child, they were just mean for no reason.
Yeah, Dad was always nice to like pretty much everyone, like especially like kids who like were kind of like downtrodden and like didn't have much. Like he would always like bring them over, and like because he knew they didn't have anything. Like
he didn't have much.
Yeah.
But when he would barbecue, the whole neighborhood would eat.
Yeah.
And your mom would get upset. She's like, they're taking advantage of it. Who doesn't? I mean, let's be honest. I was told by both of my parents and multiple people in my family that I should stop doing things for people because I wasn't going to get anything out of it. And the other day, my dad apologized. I mean, we've been talking a little bit, not a whole lot, but we talk, and he was like, I was wrong. He's like, I should have never discouraged that. You should just be who you are. My mother said the same thing before she passed, that just be who you are and just let you do what it is that you're going to do. Thank you for that, Debbie. That definitely helped.
Wow.
That definitely
Thank you so much.
And if anybody else can find it in their heart, because like I said, we're $1,800 short. So we're going to borrow against our savings. And Tony is going to be dancing. He's going to be pole dancing at the North Pole.
We got him practicing here. This is his pole that he's practicing on. It fits him well. He's pretty thin, so I think it'll work.
I weigh more than you.
Moral so low, like an insect stripper pole. Look at that. You see what I'm saying? No morals. What's wrong with these people? Thank you, Debbie Cawthra. God bless you. Now all we need is 4 more of those. No, wait, six more of those. Wait, how much is it? 8 more of those. No, 7. There's 7, right? 7 more of those, and we are golden. But it doesn't have to all happen tonight.
More.
Just as long as we can get it done. We have another show on Saturday.
Thank you, Tito.
Thank you, Tito. We appreciate that. That's definitely going to help some people, because some of the people that we're giving the food to and stuff, without us, they don't have a Christmas. I'm not lying. I'm not going to put people on the spot or whatever, but one of the ladies last year, was like, we didn't get to, and I feel bad. We didn't get the food drive, get to do it like we normally did. And, she had called and asked if we were going to be doing what we normally do. And she's got children and grandchildren. And so we did help her and a few other people just on our own. We did it, but we didn't do the drive like we normally did. It was the first time we had missed. Was it how many years? We did the math, 14.
Yeah.
And then we missed 1 year, and then there were 3 years before that, or 2 years before that, right? Or was it 3 years?
3.
So it was 3. Then we missed a year, and then it was 14. So it's 18 years. And this will be 19.
Yeah.
We did it the first year. I think it was 07. Wasn't it 07? Was it 07? Because I did it when I had my company. That was the first. It was when we were using TaylorMade.
Yeah. Yeah, it was 07.
It was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you were young.
Yeah,
like 16.
16 years old.
Yeah. He was so weak, Tony. You were a little kid back then. You remember I brought food to your house, but Anthony was carrying the box. He couldn't. He wasn't strong enough to carry the boxes.
Yeah.
And now, dude, we were at the gym last night, and I was impressed. I was very impressed.
He's strong.
He's very strong, very, very strong. But Tony is gaining weight.
Yep.
Yeah, Tony actually weighs 5 pounds more than me.
Weighs more than you.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of you.
Yeah.
I don't look my weight, but
you're getting strong, dude. I was looking at your shoulders. You were walking the other day because you were coming out of the PetSmart. I didn't know it was you.
Oh.
I was sitting there going like, "Oh, where's Tony?" I was waiting for him to come out, and
you're waiting for like this the skinny Asian lady boy to come out, and you're like,
Asian lady boy.
Where's that Thai lady boy looking cute at? Oh wait, that's Tony.
He comes
look
out
like a lady boy anymore
because you had the shirt, with your shirt was a little bit tighter because your sleeves were pulled up. Like they weren't pulled up, but they were moving up. And I was like, that's not, that is Tony. I said, that's Tony.
Yeah, I finally fit larges correctly.
Me and Anthony were actually both of us right.
Yeah.
We didn't realize it was Tony. We were like, that's not Tony. And Anthony goes, that's Tony. I said, that's Tony. Damn, you look bigger. And I started noticing, I was like, dude, this guy's actually
I'm getting stronger in the gym too.
Not as puny as you were.
Every couple of weeks, I'm moving up weight.
Yeah,
that's good, man.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are both strong as hell. Speaking of strong as hell, what did I do last night? And we videoed it.
Too much.
We videoed it.
Oh, they did 180 plus each one of those is
30.
15, 30. Yeah, so what, 210?
That was 210.
Yeah, 210 for 48 reps.
The one guy, Frank, told me that's actually, those are 20.
Uh-huh.
There's 20 pounds or 20 pounds. So that would be, but I don't know if that's correct. I mean, it would be 40 plus 180, which is 220. But it's not 225. I know that.
Yeah.
But somebody told me it's a Nautilus, but it uses free weight.
Yeah.
And so I had already done 40 extra, or at that point I did 42 excess upper body.
Yeah, that was after you were done with everything that you did that.
And it was kind of weird because I did legs in the morning. Like that morning I got up and I was just like, you know what? My hips finally weren't hurting. So I went and I did my legs, did 1,000 reps. And I didn't do massive amounts of weight, but I did what I had to do because my hip and my knee have been hurting really bad. And at first I hurt a little bit, but I powered through it. And then for some reason last night we were doing the patrol. I was finishing up and I told Anthony, I said, let's just go to the gym. I said, we're just going to do chest, shoulders, and I said chest, shoulders, and tries.
Yeah.
And then I did it, and then I decided to just keep going. I did back and buys. And then when I was done, I put 2 plates on, 2 45s on each side of the machine that was right there by where he was working out. And how many times did I do it?
48 reps.
48 reps. I recorded it. So, yeah. Just going to wait. I'm going to wait till somebody pops off with their little mouth, and then I'm going to show you. And this was after, and Anthony, it was your idea. You walked up while I was leaning on the machine. I was dog tired.
Yeah.
He said, what are you doing? I said, I'm about to do as many reps as I can because I don't know how many I can get. And you told me, you said, I bet you get 50.
Mm-hmm.
I got 48.
Yeah. Close.
Yep. After doing, and I had already done 8 chest exercises and then a bunch of other stuff. So was really not surprised by myself, but I was really pumped last night. I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm going to see what I can do. So I did it. I'm going to wait till these people say, as soon as you pop off again, because everything you do and say is a lie, and I can disprove every single thing you do and say. You get on there and all you do is lie. That's all you do. And it's just easily disproven stuff. Easily. But yeah, and I love it. I love to just show these people for what they are. All these people that talk. You talk a lot. And you're not proving anything. 1,000 push-ups. These dudes could do 1,000 push-ups with their eyes closed, and it's nothing. So Scorpion reminded me when we were working off 183, they had this like perfect bar, like this rectangular bar to do. And I did 1,000 push-ups off of that thing. Now it took me about 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Because it was brutal. But I did it. And that wasn't that long ago. That was probably, it was 2018. How many years ago was it? 7?
7.
Oh, 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I'm stronger now. So, and I can actually do 1 pull-up. I can do 1. Now, granted, I'm 370 pounds. So how strong do you have to be to do 1 pull-up? Pretty damn strong. Now, I'm heavy. That's a problem. But I can do a pull-up. I can do a pull-up and a half. That sucks. I wish I could do more. But I can't. And I got to say this to people that talk a lot about my weight and stuff like that. Dude, muscle is way more heavier than fat.
Yeah.
And they said that I don't have a picture with my chest. Yes, I do. There's one on my Facebook. Go stalk it and go look for it. You'll see it. It's there. I have one. I have a very big, round, beautiful chest. You'll see it. I don't believe that men should be running around showing their nipples, but I mean, that's, I guess it's not the same as, of course, not the same as women, but I still don't think it's correct. I don't believe in that.
So
and I have a lot of family on my Facebook. I don't think it's right. I mean, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. What is the debate? Let me ask the chat. Should you be able to show your nipples as a man? Because they do it. They show it, but I still don't think it's really correct, because if you were to go back 30, 40 years, you didn't do that.
Yeah.
And now it just seems to be, women are doing
it's
it.
like this vanity stuff. It's crap. It's annoying.
Give me your
There's
opinion.
no modesty anymore.
No, not at all. Plus, it's like after I got with Nelly, I was like, I don't think I should be running around like that, And yes, I had my shirt off on Abe's show, but that was an accident. People like he was trying to show himself off, and didn't mean to. That was an accident. I promise. I just did not even know that my camera was on. And Nelly messaged me, and I look, and then she said, "Your camera's on." And it was like, he uses what is it that he uses? Is it Restream?
Yeah, Restream.
And I'm not as familiar with Restream, and so I had my shirt off. I was sitting there talking with my shirt off. I didn't know, and so but Abe managed to edit me out and make me look really hot and sexy. He was just like, dude, I'm not going to let you look like that. You look terrible. I'm joking. Anyways, that whole thing is just ridiculous. We're getting some people in here. We got 220 tonight. You're going to want to hear what we have to say about this. This is a continuation of what we talked about a guy named Elijah from Sunday.
Mm-hmm. It was a really good one.
And I did dude, from then until now, I have done some serious sleuthing, and I got on the ball, and I finished it up today. I got up earlier today, and early on Monday. And I managed to talk briefly to the guy that this happened to. I didn't talk to him, but we texted. So we back and forth. And he was not really interested in talking about it, but I did ask him some questions, and he did say yes or no. He answered. And talking to Solomon, who is Elijah's older brother, or younger brother, he's about 4 years younger than Elijah. Very nice family, very nice guy. And he told me, what he thought. And he said, dude, this guy that this happened to, that he believes this is why the black-eyed kids visited that building. He doesn't think it had anything to do with his brother. Over the years, Elisha had told me and a couple of our friends, Scorpion D, everybody, different Willie, he was friends with Willie, why did it happen to him? And it goes back to this guy, John Sutter. Not his real name, close, but not his real name. And I think that these things, I don't know. You're just going to have to make up your own mind about what you think these things are. Give me 1 second.
So what was the because the story with Elijah on Sunday,
kids, where he frustrated them too.
Yeah, because I was studying whenever y'all did that, so I didn't get to participate in it.
Basically, he was working security at this place, and these little children demons came up to the glass and were bothering him.
Mm-hmm.
But he has a form of Asperger's or some sort where he just doesn't get social interactions. So he kept telling them, it's just like, hey, you can't be here, leave, get out of here. And then he just basically annoyed them to the point where their eyes would shift.
Well, so it wasn't clicking that these are
No, he was definitely scared of them, but he wasn't like I remember Wolf saying he spent at least an hour and 30 minutes just having basically a staring contest with it. Where he was just they were like, hey, let me in. And he was like, no, you can't come in. Go away. And then when they just kept bothering him, it was weird because they would show up on camera, but they would show up on camera their eyes would be shifting bigger.
Just one of them.
Yeah. But that was basically the experience of just these two little demons coming and harassing him. And the cops would come too, and they could see it on camera. It was weird.
So if anybody wants a hoodie tonight, we're going to do the giveaway. We're going to do it at different intervals. So we're not just trying to cram at the end. And yeah. So for the people that donated tonight, if you did a $50 and up, I'm going to give you a hoodie. So there's an incentive right there to help out with the food drive. You're not only helping feed people, we'll give you a hoodie. How about that? We didn't bring them.
Thank you, Shadow Furry and Under Fire for your $50 donations.
We did not bring the hoodies.
Yeah.
Oh, dang, we didn't.
We left them at the. We haven't.
We got so many cool designs too.
Yes, and because I mean, it's not our fault. We had a lot going on. Usually, I'd be pretty down on us for forgetting, but dude, we have a lot going on. I think we finished a lot of our shopping. Thank God.
Yeah.
We just got a couple more things to do. The food drive, and then so that should be going to the animal shelter tomorrow. Pray for us, hopefully, that we find a dog to rescue. We have someone that we care about a lot, and that person lost their dog. And so we want to help them with a dog. So we're hoping to surprise them and find a good dog for them. The adoption fee is not cheap there. It's like $120. But, I mean, that's actually a good thing in one way. It keeps people from just going over there and grabbing a dog and using it as a bait animal in dog fighting, because they'll use them as bait, and people will literally let these poor dogs be killed. It's horrible. It is terrible.
Thank you so much, Melinda.
Thank you so much for that donation. Keep track of the names. You guys all get a hoodie, and we have a lot of different colors and designs. If you want to wait until we present them to show you what all we have, you can do that. The main colors that we got is kind of like Anthony's hat. Imagine his hat, but darker. It's a darker gray. It's like a charcoal gray with the black. Oh, it looks smooth. It's a smooth look.
I've only seen a couple, so I'm kind of excited to see which ones we got.
Yeah.
I saw a couple of the designs while you were making them.
This is warm. Can you run down? I left my drink down there, dude. And, just 1 second, folks. I'll be right back. All right. Putting in a coffee order here. One of the things I learned, I don't know if it's any colder than that one, Tony. Feel that one.
Oh, that's warm.
Why is that one warm? Just put it in the fridge for a little bit. It'll warm. It'll cool it up. One of the things that I learned from talking to Solomon, I had a really good conversation with him on Monday. Was it Monday? I think it was Monday. Talking about his brother and just the memories that we have of him. We didn't hang out all the time or anything like that, but he did call and check in with me regularly, which a lot of people do. And here's what I thought about this. God has blessed me. I mean, and I'm going to tell you this. He's probably blessed a lot of you too. You probably maybe you realize it, maybe you don't. But if people call you and check in with you regularly, that's a blessing. And I was talking to a friend of mine at the mall today. And it's sad because his family's all overseas and he doesn't get to talk to them very often. He doesn't have a lot of friends. And he has a lot of friends from where he's from. And he's here as a student. And he's around Tony's age and he's almost done with his master's degree, isn't it? And he was telling us, like, he doesn't have a lot of friends he doesn't get to talk to. And I thought about it when we were driving home. I was like, dude, I have a ton of friends. And they'll call and check it. Yesterday, one of them called me yesterday evening, and we talked. And I hadn't heard from him in months. And it was just like old times. And he's living up in Seattle. Well, he doesn't live in Seattle. He lives in Kirkland. It's a church with a K. I think it's Kirkland. But we were talking, and it's like, dude, I mean, my friends, I mean, I got friends that I've met throughout my travels throughout the years. This was somebody I met when I was traveling the West Coast years ago as a young man. And I met him and the person who's now his wife. And it's pretty awesome, to talk to them and just see how they're doing. And they tell me how they're doing. And then my friend from Colorado called a few days ago. And I told Nelly, and I've told you, Anthony, Tony, this. It's awesome to have those kind of friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just when we were traveling, every state I had 5 or 6 people. And Nelly was shocked at how many people I knew that I was friends with. And it's nice to have those kind of people, and you got to call and check on them too. And then you start talking and you just start reminiscing and you just, it's a true blessing. And so if you have those kind of people in your life, my cousin was kind of lamenting one day about how many people were aggravating him one day. We were at Thanksgiving. And I told him, I said, let me tell you something, man, that's a blessing. If you ever start taking it for granted, and I have, people have taken it for granted, or you'll start to go like, oh, these people are aggravating me, like I'm just being inundated with calls or whatever. Because one day those people may not be there. And if you're a person who has 1 or 2 close friends, count your blessings, because I heard today from somebody who doesn't really have friends here in the United States. He's been here for 6 years, going to school, and he doesn't have a lot of friends here. And that kind of makes me sad, And so I love that I'm able to talk to friends and family. And the fact that my dad, it's crazy. One of my sisters is my half sister. And I'm friends with her dad's family. Like it's crazy. I'm friends with all of them. I'm friends with my dad's half brothers and sisters family. I'm friends with my dad's stepbrothers and sisters family. And they all treat me like family. I mean, they're all nice people. I'm very close with my aunts and uncles and all my cousins, and I'm close with my mom's cousins and their children. We were talking about that earlier. I'm blessed to know hundreds and hundreds, if not, I guess, thousands of the people. And so I do believe it adds a unique perspective to this show. Because when Tony, you were talking about a subject the other day, and I can't remember what it was, and you said, "Oh, the Vietnamese thing," and you were talking about. I said, "Dude, don't worry. We'll talk about it on the show. Somebody will bring it up. Somebody will talk about it, or I will talk to some friends, put out the word, and they will find people. They will find people. There will never be a shortage of people to come on the show and talk, or to tell their stories, or for me to tell their stories." And I got a guy recently who gave me another Black Eyed Kid story. Well, he gave it to Nelly. And then she got me in touch with the guy. And so I'm going to be talking to him this week, hopefully by Friday. And dude, it just keeps going and going and going. And so I will be probably helping with the show that's coming out on History Channel. So that's going to be happening probably the season 2. They're planning on having a season 2. Mm-hmm. So some of my witnesses, they didn't get to them, or they got their story, but they couldn't use them. But they're going to use them in season 2. So that's very fortunate. That is a very fortunate thing that we here at PRT have been able to contribute to this cryptid community, this ghost community, the UFO community, and all of the ancient mysteries community, all these different communities that have all come together under one umbrella to be what they are. And I'm very proud of that. And nobody's going to take that away from us. No trolling and goobering is going to bring us to our knees and stop us. Okay, look at my eyes. I'm very concerned about you. This is my concerned face. I could not be possibly more concerned.
Wow, I can sense the unease.
It's a panicky face.
Look at me. I'm having a panic attack.
DEFCON 1 face.
Jason Finch, you don't wave at people? Why are you not waving at people? What's wrong with people, Jason? Yeah, Monster Quest has another thing coming out. That's not the show that I'm talking about. I'm not going to talk about it more until it gets closer to time. They're shooting, I think, for what? They said mid-spring, something like that?
Yeah.
But that'll be coming out. That's going to be cool. They used a few of our witnesses. Jason Bland will be on there. Monica Rollins.
That's gonna be awesome.
It's going to be awesome. I want to say they used about 8, 9 of my people, but they said there were only 5 or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but that they used, but that those other people were given to them by people that I gave to them. And I was like, I personally, I'm not going to get into it. I could have been like an ass about it and be like, nah, I'm not going to do it, but I'm not that guy. I'm not worried about money and all that crap. What I'm worried about is getting the stories out there and getting them told. And if they do a good job, then holy crap, that's awesome. That's all you need. All we want at PRT is you guys to be entertained and learn something. If you can learn something,
go ahead, come to PRT, learn yourself something.
Anthony's test went awesome.
Yeah, aced it.
Flying
He
colors.
aced it. So now he is going to be the big boss. Everybody's like, well, what was it? What they were saying? They think he's your boss. He's going to be my boss. If you ever watched Game of Thrones, he'll be Joffrey.
Joffrey.
You're
Yeah,
Tyrion.
and I'll be
Tywin.
Joffrey.
I'll be Tywin. I walk in with the horse and take a shit in the hall right there. That's me. And I'm going to bring this boy to heel. I'm joking, Anthony. But, you can tell anybody in the company what you want, but you can't tell me anything. Don't tell me shit. Let me tell you that right now. Remember, I'm the old stinky guy that was kicked out of the hotel for being a stinky old.
Yeah.
You tripping, Dana. Stop it with your poo-poo mouth. You say the most bad things. Liar, liar, your pants on fire.
This woman, Dana, she is always talking about the poo-poo. She is always talking about the poo-poo and the pee-pee. This woman is very bad. She is very nasty.
We could not focus
Nasty
on what
lady.
this old man was saying.
This woman is a pervert. She is perverted.
She is a pervert.
She needs Jesus.
This woman goes down to the pervert store and buys pervert movies.
So thank you to everybody who donated. If you want your hoodie, just for donating, we're going to give you a hoodie. So if you donate $50, we'll give you a hoodie. How about this? You donate 20, we'll give you a shirt. How about that? That's a good deal, right? Or if you want a shirt, we'll give you a shirt instead of a hoodie. But you get the option if you donate $50 plus, because it's just for tonight. It's for a good cause, and we're going to use the money to pay for the food drive. So if you could do that, that would be, if you find it in your heart to help us out, we're $1,800 that we need. And that's what we're doing. So what is Richard? What is that? Are you kidding me? Stop eating delicious Tim Hortons. Oh my gosh. T-Mac says $50 is cheap for a hoodie. At my store, I work at $80. I don't even know what our hoodies sell for in the store.
If you go online, I think those sell for like $40.
$40?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. All right.
Well, not these designs.
Hi, Lori Gibbs. She says she's got to go to dinner. I hope you
All right, good night,
enjoy your
Lori.
meal. All right, guys. So let's get started. We got 282 people, but it's already 47. And we've talked enough. Let's get started here. Here's what happened. I got to tell you, I did, like I said, I did a bunch of research on this, and I went down the rabbit hole. Now, I knew a little bit about what had happened, but Solomon really brought it together for me. And I had talked to you guys about it already, which Solomon, like he's the one that refreshed. Well, I talked to the audience too about it. That what he did was remind me and go back over the story of what his brother had told me years ago. It was just a refresher. But his brother had told me a little bit about this John Sutter guy, and what he told me shocked me, and I was like, "You got to be kidding me! If this is real, this is true? What he was telling me? I don't doubt that he's telling the truth, but it's just a shocking turn of events." I thought that it would be interesting to tell instead of telling Dragutin's story tonight, which is another black-eyed kid story, we'll tell that one at another time. I thought this one really needed to be told, and it's going to jump ahead of a few of the other stories that we got. I got to say, this one was fascinating. You remember when we were talking on Sunday about how these, I don't want to call them children, because they look like children, but let's be honest. Does anybody really believe that they're children?
No.
The unchildren.
The unchildren.
The not children.
The not children.
The not kids.
Thank you, Jason Finch, for that membership. We appreciate it. The children that were accosting, Elijah, that was it for them. Like, they didn't show back up at that building. But this man came back from Argentina, and apparently his wife lived. That's where she was from. His wife was Argentinian, and he came back. He was from Ohio. He was not, But thank you for that donation, Harp and Blues. Anybody, like I said, if you donate $20 and up, we'll give you a T-shirt, and if you donate $50, we'll give you a hoodie. Just anybody who wants to help out. We'll keep track of the names. You might have to wait a little bit until after Christmas to get it, because the shipping is crazy. We're trying to ship a bunch of stuff out right now for different people, including a bunch of children that we're trying to help. So we got to get it all together. So we're doing a lot. We're doing a whole lot this year to help people. One of the things I wanted to say about this situation, Solomon told me something that was very weird. When he worked there, now he worked there the opposite days of his brother. His brother worked there 4 days. He worked there 3. Then he cut his hours down to 2. And then there was a female that was actually their cousin by marriage, and she worked there part-time. One of the things that I didn't talk to her, but according to what Solomon said, she was there one night. Her name was Gloria. We'll call her Gloria because that's her name. But Solomon told me, he says, our cousins he said our cousin, but it was a cousin by marriage. And he had known her for like 17 years, something like that. And he said that she was an older woman. And she claimed that when she was up on the 6th floor of the building, of that particular building, which is where this guy's office was. This is weird. She was walking around. This was the weekend after this happened to Elijah, and she was walking around the building, and she only worked on Sundays, and she saw something like smoke coming out of this guy's office. She said that it smelled like sulfur, and she also thought that there could be a fire, like there was something, So she smelled the smoke. She walked up. She put her, she had a sweater on. So she put it around her hand. She goes and checks the doorknob, and it's not hot. She looks down, and what she remembers, there was no smoke. She thought, this is really odd. Like, where did the smoke go? There was a bunch of smoke coming out the bottom of this room. When she goes and checks the doorknob, there's no smoke. There's nothing there. And she says that, according to what she told Solomon, she got the nerve to open the door, and there was nothing there. But when she turned around to walk, this would be terrifying. She's an older woman, right? She's on disability, I believe, but she can only work like part-time or something. So you're talking about an older disabled woman. Technically, she's not real in good health. And she sees this thing at the end of the hallway. She said that it looked like a triangle, like a whirlwind, but the head was distinct. You could see the head, and the head had these small curved horns coming out the front of its head. And it was black, all black. And she said there were these angular features on the face. Couldn't make out the eyes. There was no eyes to be seen. And she freaked out, and she did what most sane people would probably do, and that would be panic and run the opposite direction as fast as she could, and got herself down the stairwell, went down to the next floor, and then got in the elevator and got out of there. When she got into the elevator, she heard footsteps coming behind her, which she doesn't know how something could have gone that quickly, that far, whatever. Put the donation thing to the PayPal too. If you want to donate to the PayPal, you can definitely do that too. You can put the link to the PayPal. But definitely, she was terrified. She runs down the stairs. She stops when she gets to the elevator. She goes down the elevator. Get this. The elevator only takes her down to the second floor, and then it stops. The elevator's shaking, and she hears pounding on the top of the elevator. The way she described this to Solomon was that it sounded like hooves. Like whatever this thing was, it was jumping up and down. She's like, it was just like if there was a horse jumping up and down on two legs on top of the elevator. She had been raised around animals like cows and horses when she was younger. She was from Mississippi. She was a black woman, but she was raised around horses and cows, and she was not afraid. But this was not a normal situation. Not at all. And even though her family for generations had been country people living out in the country, she understood growing up in the South and being African American, she understood about the haint. That's what they call it in the South. They call it there in Texas too. And she was terrified. She believed that whatever was up there jumping up and down on the elevator was something evil, incredibly evil. And she was thinking that this could be it. Whatever's up there is going to come through. It's going to do whatever it's going to do to her. So she began praying. And when she began to pray, she's not Catholic, but she had a prayer card, a Catholic church prayer card in her purse that she always carried on her. And when she would go do her rounds, because she had a few weird things happen in different places where she worked, she would take it and put it in her pocket, in her back pocket. She said she took it out and began to say the Lord's Prayer out loud. And guess what? It stopped. She heard what sounded like something punch the back of the elevator. She's like, she turned around and was like, oh, goodness gracious, what is that? At this point, tears coming down her eyes, the elevator door opens up and she runs out of the elevator. I cannot imagine the terror that this woman was dealing with. This is an older woman who's able to walk, but she's got a bad back. She's technically on disability. She can only work so many days, I think it is. And she had this restrictions or whatever, so she could only work like 1 day a week, 2 days a week, something. And after that, she took a leave of absence. I would too. She went downstairs and she called Elijah, crying, screaming, freaking out. Elijah called his brother. They both were on the phone with her, and they decided who could go. Elijah went in and covered for her. And of course, Solomon, he's like, I have another job. He worked for a pool company at that time. He's like, I can't. We build pools and things like that. And he's like, I couldn't go up there. I can only work 2 days a week. And so that's what he did. He went up there and he covered. Elijah went up there and covered. And so Solomon came up there too, but he didn't stay. And he drove her car home. And yeah. So good brother Elijah, his older brother, he goes and picks him up, and then they go up there and Elijah's like, it's okay, it's okay. So she was freaking out, terrified of whatever it was that she had seen. And it was coming from the front reception area of the office where this man, John, was staying, where his office was, where his business was. Now, the thing that gets me about this is this guy, the whole time all this crap is going on, right? This guy's out of town. Toward the end of the month, he shows back up. His first night back, having not been told anything about the situation, he goes up to Elijah and he asks him for his mail. He said, did the concierge leave the mail? Yes, they did. Here is your mail. He goes upstairs. He's upstairs for about an hour and a half, according to, I remember this part Elijah told me. The man comes back down. It's about 8:30 at night. There's still a few people in the building. It's not completely dead yet. This was December 30th. He comes back down. This is the night before New Year's Eve, and he says, "Did something happen while I was gone?" This man, John, is about 6'5". He is a very tall man. Elijah's a little shorter than me, Elijah's about my height. And so he says, this guy, bigger, taller than me. He's a big guy. And he was very striking features. And he says, "Did something happen while I was gone?" And Elijah's like what? Knowing that something did happen. And he says, "Anything at all that I should know about?" And Elijah, being the way that he is, I can only imagine, he just blurted out the whole story. And he says, "I told him everything that happened, word for word." Just, and then he proceeded to tell me like he was telling him. And he told me the whole, most of the story. I said, okay. And I said, Elijah, is this going to be the repeat of what happened? He said, yes. I said, I don't need that.
I just heard that.
Yeah, you've already explained that to me, but you told him the whole thing, right? And he said, yes. Now, this was years ago when this happened, and I kind of chuckled, and I said, okay. I said, well, I got it. And I said, what did you know about this guy? He goes, not much, but I learned some things. Now, over the years, he did tell me more about this. He even came up to my club one night, and he didn't really drink. He didn't drink much. So I gave him some Tawaka Chill, which is one is my favorite drink. Is an Italian whiskey mixed with lemon. And he drank 2 shots, and he was hammered. He's like, man, this is crazy. Then he started talking and told me all kinds of stuff about this guy. But this is all speculation on his part, with the exception of one thing. He believed that the guy was not a good guy. Obviously, he was also a womanizer. He had a wife, but he cheated on her pretty consistently. And consequently, they're not together anymore. He had 2 children out of wedlock. One of these people that he bedded down with, and she became pregnant, and he forced her into not having the child.
Oh.
She was half Caribbean. I don't know from where. Just from the West Indies. And she was not happy about that. And so she literally sent him a letter that came to his business. And the secretary who worked there, she was she was a gossip, let's be honest. That's what it seems like to me. And she told their cousin who worked there, told her flat out that she believed that this woman was very dangerous and had some mental issues, and even threatened her, who was the receptionist, who at that time had not done anything with this John guy. But then later she got involved with him because, like I said, the guy seems to be a bit of a womanizer. They had a gym, which was right around the corner from there. And that is where this guy spent a lot of his time. He was very vain. He worked out all the time. That doesn't make you vain. What makes you vain is being the way he was. The secretary would be sent out on these forays to pick up hair products, skin cream, all kinds of crap, and then come back and do her job. And if she didn't do everything, blah, 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 it was yelling and screaming. And this guy was very quick to let people go. He was that kind of person, that kind of guy. And so she talked and she said some things. And she was extremely aggravated that she had to work on the weekend. One night when she was there, a darker skinned woman, who I believe they said she's a Caribbean woman, that he had gotten pregnant. She used to be a bartender at the bar down the street, where a lot of higher profile Dallasite people would go and, drink or whatever. And he met her there. She was like 20 years younger than him. And like I said, he got her pregnant and then forced her to not have the child. Not a very nice man. And this secretary, who eventually ended up having an affair with this guy too, had nothing but bad things to say about him. But she was threatened by this woman. And one of the things this woman did was leave a letter in an envelope that was not sealed. And this secretary read it and subsequently told Elijah and Solomon's cousin, who worked there on Sundays. And this woman was aggravated anyway that she had to work on Sundays. And she said, here, read this, and gave it to her. She didn't, by her own words, she didn't want to read it. She didn't want to be involved. This is, don't you hate it when somebody just
forces their business?
Yeah, puts a bunch of stuff out on you, and you're thinking, oh, great.
Throw it in your lap like a hot potato.
Well, because what could happen is this person decides, oh, shit, I made a mistake telling this person all that. So then they may go and sandbag you so if you ever talk, it makes you look like you're crazy or you're bad.
Yeah.
It's a neat little trick. It's happened to me working different jobs. And when somebody starts telling me this, you want to hear some gossip about so-and-so? Yeah, I'd like you not to.
I prefer if you don't.
Because if you do, then I'm going to be stuck being involved with whatever BS shit that you're going to spew out. So when they started talking to her, or when this person started talking to her about, I don't know the secretary's name, she said that the letter was something that maybe the security should read, right? So she decided, she says, you know what, I'm going to take this letter and I'm going to turn it over to Elijah, who's technically in charge of the site. He's there 4 days, 5 days, we're not. And she says, okay. But if you decide to read it, just check it out because you might want to see what kind of psychopath is after my boss. Curiosity got the better of her, and she decided that she was going to read this letter. When she did, she could not have been more shocked. This woman had literally put in there about abuse and being coerced to do things that she did not want to do in different ways. And did say in the letter she was going to get her revenge. And she told him, you can call the police, you can do whatever. You tell them your story, I'll tell them mine. So it was a tit for tat thing. But she said, you screwed up introducing me to those things. That part right there stuck with me when Solomon told me that. I was like, what? Wait a minute. What were those things? Were these things as in objects? Or was she referring to something that could be construed as a being or an entities? He told me point blank, he says, I think it would be the latter. And that's his word. Solomon talks that way. And he says, let me tell you something. Solomon's not like Elijah. He's very, very quick. And he says, look, let me tell you something. I don't believe for a second that woman was totally innocent. But I also don't think that she was a bad person, technically. I think she was pushed. And when you push someone, a preacher can become a killer real quick if you push them the right way. And he said that it looked as though, according to what he learned, and this was after talking to this guy about the letter, when he went to give the guy the letter, because the guy came in there and said, do you have this letter for me? Did the security read it? He said, yes, we did. He goes, okay. He was okay with that. He goes, what do you think? What is your suggestion? He says, I don't know. We'd have to talk to management. And the guy says, no. I don't want the property managers involved. I don't want anybody involved. I want you guys to tell me. The Solomon and Elijah are big guys. And I think that he was thinking, well, if I pay you guys a little extra, can you watch my back? Solomon was broke at that time. And he says, I was working 2 jobs, not making enough money. He's like, and it was wintertime and the pool business was slow. And he goes, and so I was working 2 days there and then 2 days at another security site. So I said, look, let me tell you something. He said, I'm not going to get involved in this for anything because this seems kind of weird, right? What happened to my brother and now this letter. And this guy told him, he says, you know what? I'm going to pay you X amount of dollars. And Solomon goes, on the other hand,
You make good points.
yes. Weird can be fun. Weird can be, how much are we talking about? Yeah. You know what? Yeah, I think so. I think I can make weird work. I think we can make it work. What do you want? And Solomon says, I shouldn't have done it. And he was very honest about it and very, very, he said, I had a very, just a matter of fact conversation. The guy says, there is someone after me and they're sending their minions to mess with me. I need people that can watch my back. Solomon was not someone who was unaccustomed to, he used to be a bodyguard. He's a big guy. If you see him, you'd say, yeah, that guy looks like, he kind of looks like the dude from, what's his name? Is the bald-headed guy from, that's what I think he looks like, from Fast and the Furious.
Oh, Vin Diesel?
Not Vin Diesel, the other dude, the black dude.
Oh,
Tyrese.
Yeah. That dude. I've only seen one of those movies. I didn't like him. I don't really like those movies. But he looks like that dude in the face. He kind of talks like him too. And he says, look, man, he's like, my brother's bigger than me. He goes, but, it's one of those things where he's my older brother. I've always looked after him. But if I need his help, he's a gentle giant, but he'll hurt somebody if he has to. And so we told him, with that kind of money, we'll watch your back. He said, okay. When you're not up here working, can you go and park out in front of my house? He lived in some Dallas suburbs north of Dallas. And he said, bet. This guy was so not savvy with even the lingo. He's like, what does that mean? Solomon's
What's
like,
the bet?
It means I'll do it. I'll be there. He goes, do you carry? He goes, yes, I'm licensed. I'll be there. So he decided to go ahead and watch this guy's back and watch his house. He said the first night he was there, nothing happened. Second night there, nothing happened. Third night, weird things. Here is what Solomon told me. And this could be part and parcel like why the black-eyed kids happened to his brother concerning this guy. When he was there, he said it was 11 o'clock at night. There wasn't a lot of traffic in that little cul-de-sac where he lived. He had a very nice house, 2-story, modern type looking house. He said that a car pulls up with 2 guys. That one of them gets out of this car, looks like he's inebriated, turns, waves. Then he realizes, oh, this is, John. And he appears to have gotten a haircut. He looks different. His hair was really, really short now. And he was growing out a beard. So he says, dude, this guy was trying to change his appearance. Something had spooked this guy. He goes inside the house. He calls, says, hey, can you come in and talk to me? He says, sure. He goes inside. His wife, at that time, they were separated. She was living in the suburbs of St. Louis. He goes inside. He has a conversation with this guy. This guy says, look, I'm going to level with you. He says, I did something pretty effed up. And I'm going to be honest, I don't feel bad about it. And this guy, obviously, according to Solomon, is like a sociopath and very honest about it. And like, I don't care. He said, I don't feel bad. I'd do it again because I'm just that way. He's like, but I'm not fixing to have no kids that I'm going to raise with some woman that I don't love. He's like, I have 2 children of my own and I don't take care of them. Their mother does. I just throw money at that situation. I don't want children. This is what this guy told him. And he tells him, he says, if these people that are messing with me show up, you're going to have my back. And Solomon said, yes, although when he walked back out to his car or his truck, he said, I'm thinking, I'm not going to help this dude do shit because this guy is an awful person. And I'm just trying to make some money so I can pay my rent. And he goes back outside. He goes, and I'm sitting there. I'm like eating my lunch, whatever. This guy calls him up again and says, hey, I got to run down the street. Can you shadow me? He says, okay. At that time, his brother was off, and his brother was working only 4 days a week. And so he calls his brother and he says, can you watch the house? He goes up there. His brother, Elijah, my friend, sits there, watches the house while he goes to watch this guy's back. This guy drives to a bar, walks inside. He's like, I'm sitting there in front of the bar, at the front of the bar, while he's talking to somebody who appears to be the owner. Then they go to the back, they talk for a little bit, then they come back out. He's like, and then I was introduced to this man. He's like, while I am standing there, I noticed the guy's eyes shift. This is what Solomon said. He said, the owner of that bar, he appeared to be a swarthy-skinned Caucasian man. His eyes literally slitted up like a snake.
No.
He said, and that wasn't the only thing that happened. He goes, I noticed that our friend there, Mr. John, his eyes did the same thing. That's the first cue. He was like, okay, I'm not dealing with normal people. Obviously, these are psychopath people, whatever, but this is not a normal guy at all by any stretch of the imagination. And so he says, I walked back out. I got in my car. I called Elijah and I told him, I said, dude, the deal's off. Dude, just leave. Don't stay there. They get back to the house. He's not there. And this guy blows up his phone and says, what's the deal? Finally, he thinks, you know what? This is not smart. I'm in debt. I gotta do this. He answers the phone. He says, hey man, you know, I just started thinking. He made up an excuse. He says, you're dealing with some weird, shady people at this bar over here. He said, nah, dude, it's a gambling. I owe a gambling debt to this guy, and I paid him. It's no big deal. It was only $400. We're done. I don't have any blah, 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 blah. And this man that he's dealing with, Sutter, like I said, not his real name, but he's half Italian. His mother was from Philadelphia, and he was involved with some people. And he admitted it. He said, man, my mom's family, they're Italian, and this goes way back. I had some gambling problems with these people. I got into debt. Tried to fix it by gambling, he claims, and I lost a bunch of money on the Celtics and blah, blah, blah. So he's giving him this whole story. He goes, but this has nothing to do with this girl. The whole time he's looking at this guy and he's thinking, this guy's got some issues that are beyond anything I can deal with. This guy's got like his eyes turning into a snake's. He says, while I'm out there that night, he's like, this was like the fourth night. He was like, I was out there in the front of the house. I told my brother, okay, we're going to go ahead and help this guy. He said that this dude called him and says, hey, man, I think there's somebody in my house. The alarm went off inside, you know, and it's one of those where it goes beep, beep when somebody comes in and out. Mm-hmm. Okay, we have that too. A lot of people have that.
Like that chime.
So he says that the chime, didn't say the alarm, he says the I forgot what he called it. The chime went off, whatever. But it's not that, it's called something else. He said he gets up, he walks in there, and he says, when he goes inside, he said, I could feel the whole room was cold. Now it is January, right? And it was cold. He's like, he was like, dude, isn't there a heater on? I mean, don't you have a heater? And he says, yes, the heater is on. Is it broken? He says, no. And he says, look, I heard that the beeping going off. My dogs were barking. He has these two big Doberman pinschers. And this guy goes and checks all of the rooms. He's like, I've been doing security a long time, Wolf. He goes, and I did personal protection for years. He goes, I lived overseas and I guarded this very wealthy guy in the Philippines. He goes, I can tell you right now, he had a secret room. He had a safe room. And I said, where's your safe room? And he's like, my what? He goes, don't lie to me, John. You have a safe room. Don't lie. He goes, I do. And he goes, but, you know, I didn't think you knew. He's like, well, you're wealthy and you have enemies. So let's go. Takes him over there, shows him the safe room, says, okay. While they are standing there talking, he's like, he turns and he looks. This is Solomon. He goes, and I'm telling you the truth. He's like, I saw something cross the hallway. Big and black, tall, and it looked like it looked like it had spikes all over its body. It's only I could remind it. I could describe it. He turns back around. He says, I just saw something. And so they go down the hallway. When they get close to where this thing is at, this is the kind of guy this guy is. John grabs Solomon's jacket and kind of pushes him forward, out in front of him. And Solomon says, I turn around and say, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't ever touch me. Don't do that again. He goes, oh, okay, sorry. And he says, who are you expecting? Because it seems like you're expecting somebody to show up and do something. And the guy says, nobody. He just keeps lying. He goes, at this point, I said, let's go downstairs. They went downstairs. We checked everywhere. There was nobody, no human. We get downstairs. We sit at this table. Get this. He goes, I'm sitting at a table. He's like, and we're talking, and it's a glass table. He's like, but there's this frosted lines underneath it. He's like, and I notice that there is these 6 points star on the table. And in the middle of that is a pentagram with a 5-point star in the middle. And there's this weird lettering that looks like Hebrew lettering. And he asks him point blank, Solomon's like, what is this? And he says, oh, this is a Kabbalistic table.
So nonchalant.
And he says, okay, like magic? And he says, yes. He says, I only knew about it because I dated a girl that was she was really into that stuff. He says, well, can we sit somewhere else? So they go into the sitting area and they sit there. He's got this little square table and it like opens up and you can put your feet up on it and everything. And this guy was into a lot of crazy stuff. The guy admitted to him, he says, look, I used to be really heavy into the occult. He's like, I studied. What happened? Does it?
It's like bitter.
My day's fine. What'd you get?
Golden Eagle, Sam. Golden Eagle.
I got the same thing I always get. Tastes fine.
Well, not right either.
Oh, it's very bitter.
Mine's bitter too.
Did you get that drink from downstairs?
No. I
don't know if I brought it or not. I think I did.
I'll go check.
Yeah, go check real quick.
As long as it's y'all's drinks that are messed up and not mine,
Yeah,
I'm
great.
good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Mine's kind of bitter, but I don't.
Maddie must have done
good.
it. So
Yeah, Maddie likes to mess up coffee. Look,
But not mine.
Maddie's in the chat.
Mine's
you know you
good.
messed up our coffee, Maddie. Don't try to act.
Mine's awesome.
Well, Anthony's happy. His is awesome. Well,
It's even better now
she
that-
likes you. So
It's
you know.
even better now that theirs isn't good. Makes it taste better.
Really. So, what? Of course, blame you because you did it. That's why. Nobody's just blaming you out of nowhere or out of anger. It's just blaming you. But to your credit, though, Tony's brought back some garbage protein drinks and coffee too. Or tell him what he did to him.
Yeah, it was like that. Remember that rotten crusty crab, your Krabby Patty on SpongeBob. If you took that and put it in a blender and put that into a cup, that's literally like something that Tony brought home one day as a protein shake. I still don't to this day don't know what it was.
He did it here too.
Yeah.
I was on the show trying not to it was like just weird. But that place down there though, that they always met that one messes it up. So it may not have been him because they did it to me too before. So here's what happened. He's sitting there and he's talking to this guy and he goes, he has this little fancy table and it's real modern and everything, And the guy admits to him, he says, look, I was into all kinds of stuff, Enochian magic, Kabbalistic, I did all kinds of stuff. He's like, and I got to know this woman and we started off talking about magic and the occult and blah, blah, blah. And he said, I knew that she was into brujeria and we did some spell casting together. He's like, and one thing led to another. And this is when Solomon asked him, he says, point blank, Wolf, I asked him, I said, who are the others? What is she talking about? She literally says things and others. What is that? And this guy leans forward and says, you wouldn't believe me if I told you. He says, try me. And he says, well, he says, I've figured out who and what I really am. He goes, and I don't want to freak you out. He goes, but I am not a human like you are. And he says, what do you mean? He says, well, I have others that will come in and use my vessel, my body. You didn't find it? I must have left it. He said, they will use my body to communicate with, to send messages, different things like that. It was part of an agreement I made. And he says, when? He says, before I even came to this plane of existence. This is what this guy told him. Crazy. Now, at this point, whether he believes it or doesn't believe it, he's like, this is what this guy's saying, and he believes what he's saying. And I've known Solomon for, a couple decades, and he was like, look, this guy was into some stuff. Not exactly his words, but he said it was so freaky. He goes, the heater kicked on finally, and it was like it got a little warmer, and it was just cold in there. And he's like, and this guy was acting like he was sluggish, like he was having a hard time. And I asked him what was wrong. He says, I can't handle the cold. So these beings are making it cold. He's like, they want me because I committed myself to them. And this woman knows all of my secrets, and now she's given them all of the codes. Solomon says the codes to what? He goes, everything. Everything in my life. He says, I suspect that probably within a couple of months, I will be deceased. He's like, I need your help. Do you know anybody else like you who will work like you? And Solomon says, yeah, I do. I know a few people that do what I do. And I can get you in touch with them. I know a guy from Ireland who's like me. And he's like, I know an Israeli. We could work together. We could do what we want to, some people to help you. And yeah. He said, well, good. Get these people together. I need 3 more people like you, and I want you guys to be at my house. Watch my back. So he did. He called up some people, had some contacts, and he got together with 3 or 4 other people like him. And they watched his house. He had one guy in the back that hung out by the pool, another guy that was upstairs in the loft area, and another guy that was downstairs in the house, and the guy that was in the front, which was him or his brother. And he said that for about 2 weeks, everything was fine. We got paid very well. It was an easy job. You only had to work, 12 hours. You go home, another guy comes and relieves you. I got him 6 people all together, and we just put in the hours. He goes, and it was good money. It was easy money. He's like, it was a lot of money. It was easy. We didn't have a problem getting paid. He did say, however, that there was a problem. He's like, I figured out that whatever it was chasing after this guy was not a human, obviously, because he wasn't completely human, but it went beyond that. It was a demon, and it had a name. And I said, how do you know? He goes, because I was in there taking a leak one time, and this demon-like shadow entity walked through the wall and told me his name. It started with a P. Mm-hmm. And literally, he said this thing had balled out black eyes with a black face, but it looked almost like it was wearing like a shield or a helmet. He said, if I didn't know any better, I would think it was like a space alien. But it was definitely demonic, whether it was an alien or a demon. And I told him, I said, Solomon, I believe that there is something about these beings that can be considered both. And he was like, you're not in the least bit perturbed by this, about what I'm telling you. I said, no, I'm not, because I've heard these kind of things before. Every story is different, and I can't tell you which ones are worse than the others. And you guys know we've heard a lot of weird shit over the years.
Yeah.
And I don't get startled or shocked or whatever. It does kind of, it is kind of unnerving at times because it all brings it together and it tells you, hey, that this is what is going on, and it kind of presents a picture to you, and you either have to accept it or you don't.
Only time I've ever seen you get like unnerved or like something bother you is when like you're telling the story, or like, I mean, someone's telling you the story and you're by yourself in the den, and then something else, like you hear something else going off in the background,
Yeah.
like just like some random noises in the house, and like you'll know we're all asleep basically.
Yeah, some of the encounters, like when you first get them from people like that's like, and it's just you, and like, you know, you don't have a co-host or an audience to bounce it off of. Like it kind of it can kind of like give you the creepy crawlies.
Yeah, I mean, we've been doing this for so long now that like the stories, they've definitely like scared me less and less. I mean, it's definitely unnerving, like you said. It's like, oh, I wouldn't want to be in
There's
that
not a lot.
position.
There's not a lot left of like surprises anymore.
Exactly. Yeah, we're not really like, we hear something and we're like, oh my gosh, I've never heard of that. There's been a couple things that are like pretty like out there that are just like, wow, that sounds horrendous to have to experience or even deal with.
But I like stories like this in particular because it's like I like hearing about people who like knowingly walk in like the next world, or walk in another world, you know, like on the astral plane, because I like hearing what they have to say about like the nature of that reality. It's really interesting to me. Like, even though that Rex Rude guy was just an awful human being, but like
Human being?
Well,
Thing.
well, see, that's another thing. It's like people who know that they're living lives as humans, but they don't feel any connection because they know it's not what they are. It's like but like the logistics of like him, like like what you have to do and who you have to be to go to the places he was going. It's just like it's scary but intriguing.
I mean, he's abandoned his humanity, but I mean, technically would still be.
Yeah, if and you got to think about it like this: guys like Rex, and then guys like this dude, this John guy. Were they even ever really human, or did they just discover themselves, like what they were?
Yeah, that's interesting to me.
That's
like,
an
do they remember?
interesting idea.
Do they remember?
You ever seen the movie? Have y'all ever seen the movie Omen?
Oh yeah,
where he's the Antichrist.
Yeah,
it's kind of like that, like where
you know, when he's a kid, he doesn't know
what he is, but then he comes into his own, and then like the later episodes, like he begins to realize, like, and there's all these weird people around him that know who he is, and they're pushing him along and helping him along. I think there's a lot of those kind of people around. It's just my opinion. I don't know. I'm not saying necessarily that every one of these beings is the Antichrist, but they are a type of Antichrist. But anyways, so what ends up happening with this guy, he's telling Solomon this story, and Solomon is like, that's why this thing with the black-eyed kids, those beings were probably agents that were sent to do something to deal with this guy. Who knows what might have happened if they had gotten up to the 6th floor and gotten to him?
Yeah.
Would they have shapeshifted into something?
Well, I thought he wasn't there.
He wasn't.
Yeah.
I'm saying if he was,
yeah,
and they would have gotten up there, who knows what might have actually transpired? We don't know. We don't. And maybe we never will, but
they just ran into one of the best security guards.
Well, I just kind of accidentally he's just not going to let him in, you ain't getting in. But so what ends up happening with this guy, he ends up telling Solomon, he says, I did some things. And then when this woman had her child, he goes, I screwed up because that child was supposed to be somebody. And it wasn't somebody good. So according to what he told Solomon, this is the freaky deaky part about this. He said that child was supposed to be a dark soul that was waiting to come across. And we created this bridge for it by creating the vessel. And I didn't want to raise it or have that kind of responsibility. So I talked her into getting rid of it. He's like, and part of me was doing it because I thought I was doing the right thing too. He goes, but Solomon said this guy doesn't do things to be the right thing. He obviously was doing it because he didn't want to have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Maybe not the same reasons other people, but just not wanting have to have that problem, you know. So that's what he said. But here's the rub. He gets a call, and Solomon is standing there with this guy. And this guy, I guess he thought we were friends or something. He goes, I wasn't his friend. I was just needing the money. He's like, and I kept telling myself every day, I need to get out of this situation. He goes, I don't think it was right. I shouldn't have done it to help this guy or bodyguard him, whatever. He's like, but I needed money, and I was about to lose my place, and my car was about to be repoed, and I wasn't doing well. He's like, and Elijah and mine's mother was dying, and I needed help. He's like, and so I told him, I said, you know, if you need me for the next week, that's fine. But after this, I'm done. That would have been the third week he was working with this guy. And so he's there, and he gets a phone call, and this guy tells Solomon, he says, can you answer the phone for me and tell them that I'm not here? He answers the phone. And he says this was before he saw the being come through the wall. He thinks this is what triggered that. And he says, yes, can I help you? And the guy on the other side of the phone, as he said, it sounded like a guy at first, had a real deep voice. It sounded demonic, diabolic. He goes, I can't tell you, it was evil. And it says, put him on the phone now. And he was like, I didn't know what to say. And, you know, John's over there waving me off like, no, you know. And so Solomon tells him, no, I can't do that. He's not here. And the guy on the phone says, yes, he is. He's standing right next to you, and you're right there in his living room. And he turns and goes, he wants to talk to you. Gives him the phone. And the guy puts it on speaker, and he hears this like he goes, it was some sort of weird language. And John was talking back to him in English and looking at me the whole time. And this being was talking in some otherworldly language that I had never heard in any of my travels, anything I've ever done, former military, everything that he had been through. He's like, I've never heard anything like this. And he says, look, I made a mistake. And he's like, if you would just give me one more chance. He's pleading with this being on the phone. And then he says, if you would give me one more chance, he goes, I will get rid of her for you. He tells the being. Like, agrees to this. He gets off the phone. Solomon says, what do you mean get rid of her? He says, look, I have a favorite ad. He's like, no, we're done. I don't know what this is. I'm not going to be getting rid of no woman or whatever. He's like, no, you don't got to do all that. Just bring her here. Just bring her here. And he's like, to hell I am. I'm not bringing this woman to you. He goes, first of all, there's not enough money in the world to me to bring someone to you to do something. He says, look, she's not going to die. I just got to tell you how it's going to happen. Solomon said, partly out of curiosity, he just says, okay. And partly to maybe have to tell the police later what the hell this guy was doing. He said, tell me, smart guy, what is it that you're going to do? He goes, there is a ritual, a ceremony that we will do. And this being that works with this other guy that you were listening to on the phone will inhabit her body. And her soul will be trapped. It'll be locked away until that vessel is destroyed, which who knows how long that will be. And this being will live in her body for the next, 30, 40 years. Like a walk-in. Oh, is that all?
It's even worse than death.
So you're just going to put her, and now I know what they
But you were going to kill her.
This is what I told Solomon too. I said, I know exactly what that is. They call it cubing, and they put the soul into a square. For those who don't know what that is, think of the cube of Saturn. Folks, that is a prison for a soul. That's why the Chinese have this belief, and some of the Arab culture do too. So do some of the people from India. that if you were going to die and like if you feel it, what are you supposed to do, guys?
Go outside.
Go outside.
Don't be confined.
Because the soul can be what? Trapped, disoriented. This is something you don't hear a lot about in the West, because here in the West we are ignorant. And I'm not trying to say like some of these dumbass people like, the East is where it's all, it's
Namaste.
It's like, no, dude. I'm just saying that they have a vested interest in keeping us wholly ignorant here. Like as a whole, like just ignorant. This is what these evil magic practitioners will do. They will take someone's soul and rip it out of their body and put another demonic soul into it. I'm fully convinced, though, that they can only do this to people who are willing or who have given permission and who are not saved by the blood of Christ. That's my belief. That's my opinion. And people can argue with me all day, but that is what they do. I promise you 100% that this guy was telling Solomon, this is what I believe, that this guy was evil and he was totally willing to do whatever he could get away with. And if Solomon was willing to go along with it and help him grab this woman, then that's what he was going to do to her and make his debt with this demonic entity go away. Fortunately, this guy that I've known for years, knew his brother a lot more than I do him, a lot better. But I talked to Solomon before. We'd worked together. And he said that he did not go along with this. He said, I will not do this. He said the guy offered him another $2,000 right there. This was years ago. And he said, I just looked at the money. I said, I'm not taking any more of your money. I need to leave. And he said, I didn't turn my back on this guy. I walked out backwards. And I called my friends that were there working, and 2 of them decided to stay. 1 of them left with me, and we never looked back. And I asked him, I said, do you know what became of this man? He says, about 2 months later, he disappeared. The story is that he wasn't abducted or killed or anything. He just left. Takayashi, you got to remember, this is like 15, 20 years ago, I believe it, or maybe it was something like that. And he offered him $2,000 right there on the table just to stay. That was not to help him do whatever he was going to do. That was involving a lot of money, because it was literally them committing crimes that just, And so he goes, I just walked away, and the guy didn't mess with me. And I would see him in the building sometimes when he would go up there. He canceled his lease, and then he packed up a bunch of stuff, and then he disappeared. And a bunch of people were looking for him to pay his mortgages, his rents, his bills, his vehicle payments. His vehicles got repoed, and a bunch of stuff got auctioned off, and nobody knows what happened to this guy. So who knows what he did, if he just bounced? Who knows?
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts? We'll start with you, Tony. What do you think?
It's pretty terrifying. I mean, like Anthony mentioned, those who walk in both realms, especially, it's interesting to hear about the darker side. I prefer hearing about like someone who maybe doesn't want to delve in some of that darker stuff, because obviously, as you can tell right now, there's rules and things that aren't, I don't know, I want to say covenants, but that doesn't sound right, but it's basically things that shouldn't be broken, that once they are, these things are relentless to get their revenge or their payback. And it's obviously that's what happened to this guy. And I hope he didn't do anything to this girl, even though she was probably dabbling in this nonsense too, and that his own recompense came upon him because, he obviously was in some stuff that he never should have been, whether it was from, a past life or before he even came down here, it was supposed to be like that. I don't believe that, you're just supposed to let like succumb to that nonsense, because even though there are people who are evil, I believe this planet like the reason we're here is to shed that kind of negativity and that evil. And even in temptation, we're supposed to be able to, then stand steadfast against it, and then that will help you bring you to, uh, heaven, and also just like a higher area of mentality. So to hear like about these people who succumb or just wholly accept this darkness and nonsense,
There's a lot of them.
and then you hear about what happens to them, it's like, well, what did you expect? Like, there's nothing good that comes with dealing with these evils, and to expect any different is ridiculous. And to think that, like, oh, I can do this to her, I can cube her, and I can let this thing inhabit her, but it's not going to happen to me. It's just this arrogance that comes with the darkness too, to where like they think like, oh, I'm safe, I'm protected, and the truth is, there's only one way to get protection, and that's through Jesus, and to accept His light and His holiness, and to be on the right side, because that's the only way to truly be safe. Because these things, they've been around for so long, they see you as nothing more than another pawn in a grand game that they're playing.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely a cautionary tale, because all three of these people, they dabble in this occult magic, but and maybe they got a short-term gain out of it, but I mean, look how much it cost them. Like like one guy was terrified of like being taken by this arch demon, whatever this thing was, and then the girl that he was involved with, I mean, God, Lord knows what happened to her. And then Solomon, he got mixed up with these people, and I mean, he's got to have that on his conscience now. And he's got to live with that, because like whatever like malicious spiritual practice was performed and may have been put on this woman to basically cube her soul and turn her turn her body into just a vessel for a demonic spirit. Like that's if that happened, then that's on him too.
Well, the thing that really is interesting to me, and just the fact that this this whole story that we just talked about spun off of what was essentially a black-eyed kids encounter by Elijah.
Mm-hmm.
So now we have a little meat on the bone to chew on about what this could be, the phenomena that we know of as the black-eyed kids. These things were there to do something to this guy.
I mean,
they were relentless. It was like all night long. They kept trying to get into the building.
Well, I think it was also partly because Elijah pissed them off so badly, and like they were like,
they needed to be let in,
mm-hmm.
in my opinion. And I think this is what I personally believe. And I'm not telling you what to believe, and I'm not telling anybody what they should believe. But I personally think that they were going to get inside, disappear physically, but they would be there spiritually inside that building.
And wait for him to come back.
And they wait for him to come back, and then they were going to do what they were going to do.
And we've always mentioned, it's like, why kids? Obviously, because it lets people's guard be down, and it lets people's, their vigilance be neglected or to be ignored. But now it just makes more sense if these things are in fact just demons who inhabit, these bodies, and because like now they're out doing basically the bidding of these higher up demons, and the rules that they have to apply by probably are a little bit more strict. That's why like they do some of the things they do, and they have to ask for permission to get inside. But it's probably because they're higher level entities that can do a lot more once that they are once they have passed the checks. Basically, once they like all the things that they need to do have been done, they can affect and do things in a lot more dangerous ways.
I think that the scary thing is too, though, it just we really don't know if this is the end. Like, this is what happens. You know, we really don't know. We're not 100% on what these black-eyed beings are. I mean, they could be, or they could be the ones. They could be the ones in charge. For all we know what I mean. I mean, they could be their, not the henchmen, but the ones that are pulling the strings. And then they, this higher up demon that he was talking to, because Solomon doesn't have all the answers. He didn't get all the answers. I asked him a ton of questions he couldn't answer. Did he see his eyes slit up again? No. Or, he probably would not have been there. And I think that he didn't see the black-eyed kids himself. He saw the picture, the videos. Everybody saw the footage of it at that building, but what were they? Who knows? And he did not continue to talk to this person, which was probably a smart thing. And who knows what may have transpired if he would have continued dealing with this crazy individual.
I kind of disagree that they would be the ones in charge, only in one fact. It's that when I imagine like them, I kind of see them more as like henchmen, in the fact that just because, they're out doing stuff. They're actually like out doing stuff. And I kind of imagine these demons, these archdemons, being more like, they're not leaders, they're bosses. They're more like commanders. They sit in the back and tell others what to do, and then those things go out and do them. So, I mean, I think they have a higher level of like importance than like, black dogs or hellhounds. But I don't know if they are themselves like inhabited archdemons or inhabited like higher up demons, because of the fact that they're in the field.
And then again, if this guy was a reptoid of some kind, one way or the other, what do you think? Do you think that he might have been a reptilian? Or was his eyes slitting up because of something attached to him? Was he attached to maybe a real vampire was attached to him? I don't know. I'm going to show you something. I don't usually post pictures, and I know there's a bunch of weird stuff on here, but people like to see if I can
Wendy Eater 261 asks, Wolf, why do you think some entities need permission to enter a home or office building and some don't?
I think they all do.
I think
you give it to them.
I think it depends on sentience, maybe.
I think you give it to them one way or the other. Elijah is one of those very pure people, I think. And
he's also very blunt and firm.
I think most people would just be thinking things, and their mind is unbridled, and they just let the imagination just unbridled, and they allow for things to happen. Whereas someone like him is very like robotic, like, no, you can't come. Think about him just sitting there staring into, like they were just staring at each other. He was staring over them, he said. And it went on for an hour and a half.
Yeah, just
or the average person would probably just, would give them more leeway.
Or if they kind of respond in anger and think like, oh, I wish you would come in. Like, you come in here and see what happens.
Yeah, because you're giving them permission. Yeah. So there is something to that. This, folks, is a picture of that's in the Paranormal Roundtable group. Take a look at that. Alleged photograph of royal reptilian sparks shock after Buckingham claim. And there's a bunch of people who've says the group that shot came from, and I put it on the Facebook because that is something that looks like some pictures that I've been shown over the years. It says whistleblowers from the occult practices surrounding the royal family have already been revealed. You just have to do research. And then it gives some people's names, whatever. I'm not going to get into all that. But if you go to the original post, and then it talks, a bunch of people are saying all kinds of stuff about it, And it's also in the conspiracies group we have too. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I have all the answers or that I know exactly what the reptilians are, or that the reptilian agenda is 100% that I know, or that the black-eyed kids that I've figured it out, that I am like, but I think I probably am a little more qualified to talk about it than the average person because I've interviewed thousands of people about this kind of crap. And I don't mean crap as in the people's stories are crap. I mean this crap that happens to these people. And how many people are actually not real people. I think we come across people that are not real people all the time.
Yeah. I mean, you really don't know who's walking nearby you. It could be anyone. And you don't really, you kind of just wade through these masses of groups and kind of just ignore those around you. But I think if we paid a little bit more attention, we noticed some like weird discrepancies about people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
some
we
of the
definitely
people that you pass on the street could be one of these people who was born out of these occult practitioners, and like specifically like their vessel was created to be inhabited by a specific some kind of spirit from another dimension. Like that's crazy to think of. It's like some Rosemary's Baby type stuff.
Mm-hmm. Don't forget to get your name in green, folks. It's like a $5 deal. And next week we'll be back with more. We're going to do the members only next week, so we'll be back for that tomorrow and only because it's Christmas. We're not going to be able to do something tomorrow. We did the Patreon this past week, and we did the
members.
The members only. Yeah. This week we don't have the time because we're Christmas and all that stuff. And when I'm done here, I got to work for a few hours, and then I got to wrap presents. So it's not my favorite thing to do, but it's what I got to do because we have a ton of stuff we got to do for people. If you guys, like I said, if you're so inclined to donate, if you donate $20, I'll send you a shirt. Make sure you send your information. And if you come to me 2 months later and said, I never got anything, well, that's if you didn't send me your information. Now, if you sent your information, you didn't get anything, it's on us. But if you don't send your information, it's on you. So here it is, guys.
Thank you, August and Abe, for donating.
Of Spiritual Cryptid Encounters. And August says, August Bradshaw, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
August
Thank
Bradshaw.
you so much for that. She says to pick someone to give the shirt away to.
Wow,
So
man,
tonight
awesome.
we're going to just whoever donates that, if you're $20 and up, if all you can donate is 10, thank you so much. We appreciate it. But if you donate $20, we'll give you a shirt. If you donate 50, we'll give you a hoodie. So, and it's for a good cause. We're doing it for our food drive, our annual PRT food drive. And so definitely anybody, even if you guys have already won before, or you're a Patreon, or you're members, it doesn't matter. We'll send you one of the new hoodies if you donate. I appreciate that tonight. We're trying to get support and help. You're going to have to wait until after Christmas. It'll probably be in a couple of weeks. We'll be sending out everybody's stuff because we are backed up big time with the Patreon giveaways and all the regular giveaways. And there it is right there, the banner. Tell them what they got to do.
All you got to do to receive anything from your giveaway winning, from your Patreon membership, just there's a little banner scrolling at the bottom of the screen. You send your name, address, and shirt size to that email address, and we'll get your stuff sent out as soon as possible.
Yep.
So that's it, folks. I want to play a song. My wife made 2 songs. Well, she made one originally for Christmas, and it was Ebenezer.
You guys heard it if you were here early?
You heard the first one, right?
If you were here early, you definitely heard the first one.
Yeah, you heard the first one at the beginning. You can go after the show's over, just go back and listen to the beginning. And then she made another one. So let's see here. We played the first one. Let's play the second one. And
Thank you for that donation, Joe 3 Pops.
Thank you.
Oh, man,
we
thank you so
appreciate it, man. And
It's the unnamed one. That's the unnamed one.
Yeah. I got it. I'm just thank you to everybody.
Thank you, Pacha.
It's Paul Pachura.
Oh, Paul Pachura.
Pacha.
Well, it's just P-Cha.
It's P Pachura.
I
Sorry,
don't
Paul. This guy's just whatever. But,
with a peanut in his head.
I don't speak your heathen language. I don't know what that is.
oh
Oh,
god.
no,
Incan script that is.
No, you just speak the bok.
The
That makes sense. to me. It's a very valid. Now you're insulting my mother, though. My dad does not say
that sounds
that.
like a chihuahua, dude. What the heck is that, dude? All right, so here's the song.
In a cold room, a spirit looms, a message, a warning. Both ways it goes, so the spirit knows. But humbug he claimed, but after tonight, he won't be the same. Faces in strange places, dust off that feeling, the warm fire crackling, padlocks and cash boxes rattling, chains how unsettling, what the spirit brings. The spirits of the past, the present and the future visit this night with visions painful and steady, and their lessons are ready. In darkness they come, with visions you can't outrun, from all you have done. In fear he waits, it's getting late, the clock strikes one, the first spirit comes, an innocent face lit up the place, a painful past relived all the memories it could give, devastation, loss and regret, for he sees the boy that wouldn't recognize him if they met. In darkness they come, with visions you can't outrun, from all you have done. The clock strikes two, a spirit in the room, in poverty joy will not fade. In riches his name, kind words to save, a humble feast, a grateful child's eyes, a mirror held before his mind. But as he watches, warmth turns into darkness. It's brief and slipping away as he watches the spirit age. In darkness they come, with visions you can't outrun, from all you have done. The clock strikes 3, a new spirit he sees, a hooded figure pointing to death's only one